Good morning. It's the EV Heroes. How are you all, my dear chaps and chapesses? Welcome to the EV Café News at 10 o'clock. 30 minutes of what's happening this week in zero-emission transport. And my lordy, what a week. We usually have expert analysis from the EV Café crew, but today we've just got Paul.
So analysis. Well, I'm ready to analyse, not in an expert fashion, clearly.
Now, you're eating something. What is it?
No, it was breakfast. I've probably got it on my moustache. We'll talk more about moustaches in a minute. Anyway,
we were joined by Sarah there momentarily. Sarah's on the move. She may dip in, dip out, and she'll certainly be in the comments today. So thank you, Sarah, for doing that. It's awfully kind. She's not doing that whilst she's driving. Right, so let's buckle up and see what we've got that's been happening in clean transport this week. And coming up, obviously, we've got to go with the government and reviewing the zero-emission vehicle mandate. They say they'll keep the 2030 deadline for the internal combustion engine phase out. We'll deep dive into this, Paul and I, and see if we can pull it apart and make some sense of it, along with other developments. What have happened? Let's see where we go with that. What have happened? Schneider Electric have partnered with Stagecoach with one of their digital platforms, and it's utterly brilliant. We'll talk more about that. And the AA reveal that EVs running out of charge is at the lowest point ever, despite there being more EVs on the road, which is brilliant news. But first, Louise Hay, the Transport Minister, has this morning resigned. And for me, that's a massive shame. Did you know this, Pablo?
No.
Okay, so Louise Hay this morning resigned. There was some kerfuffle over something that happened in 2013, a mobile phone. She was mugged. She had her bag stolen. Mobile phone she reported stolen, ultimately turned up in her home. Police got involved. She pled guilty 11 years ago. She was a candidate at the time rather than an MP. Frankly, I think she should probably have, it should have been dealt with there and then. It wasn't, and it's emerged now due to a Sky investigation. It seems hugely sad. I don't condone anybody who gets into that sort of situation. I think it's awful, but Louise Hay was somebody who listened to the electric vehicle community. She understood our community, and she wanted to make things better for us and better for transport in general. And I'm deeply saddened by that. Paul, got any immediate thoughts?
Well, my only thoughts is, listen, as many that will have read my podcast, I have a criminal record. I have been a bad lad in my past, and I made mistakes, but I put those right. And even people in difficult situations, like Louise Hay, she made a mistake, she did something wrong, and I'm kind of, quite frankly, I'm a bit sick to death of people like that have got planks in their own eye, pointing out splinters in other people's for the benefit of a headline and to give people an unnecessary kind of hard time. I think, if somebody's doing a good job, I mean, we've got a criminal, arguably, going to be taking on the biggest job in the world, as in the President of the United States, and please don't kill me, CIA or anybody like that. But, he is convicted of numerous crimes whilst in office and all of this kind of malarkey. Yet, it's all fine over there. So, look, I'm... Again, with you, John, I don't condone abuse of power or situation, but somebody just got in a bloody job. Oh, let's find something bad about them and get them sacked. Well, to whomever did that I wish exactly back on you, because what you've done to somebody else, you deserve to get back. So watch out, Mr. or Mrs. Reporter, that has done that, because somebody will get you one day. There you go.
Deeply sad. Yeah. Thanks for that heartfelt play, Paul. We were at the London EV show this week, and the whole EV Cafe crew were there on Tuesday. And then Wednesday and Thursday, Paul and I were there. And it was an incredibly productive and useful time for us, Paul, wasn't it? We had an opportunity to speak to a lot of people who watched the show. Indeed, one guy approached us from Bangalore. and he watches us out there, which was really, really kind. We had people from all over the world, interestingly, who watched the news, and we're absolutely humbled by that. What's your highlight, Paul?
Oh gosh, highlight. Absolutely impossible. Do you know what the highlight was? Lots of different selfies with lots of people. We missed a few people out there, and sorry to those that we did miss on the old selfie stick, but the selfie stick was out in action. I suppose a little personal highlight was getting to talk to 5 or 6 really key fleet managers to discuss what the biggest challenges was, and it's always a great privilege to talk with the likes of Abby Chicken, Stuart Murphy, James Rooney, Ollie Crawn, really great people leading the way in our industry. And it would that. I suppose if there's a highlight, that's probably mine, because they're doing a lot of vans. Those people that I spoke to are responsible for nearly 100,000 vans, just a few thousand vans short of 100,000. That's phenomenal. It was just great.
Yeah, we had a great time with a lot of people there, new people as well. Met some really fabulous people that I've never seen before, who were really enthusiastic about our industry. Yes, there was an undercurrent of, oof, okay, things are a bit tough, but a determination to get things going. One of our friends, Claire from Compleo, has launched a new campaign urging universities, colleges and schools to grab their share of a government grant before it closes in March 2025. Their Charge Up Your Campus campaign is bringing awareness to the little-known fund, which allows academic institutions to claim up to £100,000 towards the installation of EV charge points. Institutions have to apply before the 31st of March 2025, and they have 180 days to spend the voucher, providing the flexibility to put the costs into next financial year, which is really, really important. If you're an institution that educates, get onto it. It is your opportunity for free money. In other news, Mark Newbury of Europe Car's been up to something. Paul, you have details.
I do have details. My computer's telling me it's about to restart, so if it does, I'll come back to it. I'm just like, no, stop, don't do it, please. Oh, but I don't know. Anyway, so what is Mark Newbury doing? Mark is growing his moustache for November, and it is a beast of a thing, and we're about to see it if Joe can help. There we go. Look at that. That's a proper. That's a military moustache, I think. So that's a cracking moustache. Now, November is all about men's mental health, and we often bemoan the fact that there's something for everything, but what about us poor men? We've had our day in the limelight, but the reality is that November talks about mental health. It talks about things like testicular cancer, things that men don't want to talk about, and we sort of hide these things away. And it's best that we do keep those things hidden away, but we should talk about them. And mental health is hugely important to Mark, I know, and for us here at the EV Café, and for a plethora of people. But men's mental health is the biggest cause of death for men under 40, is suicide, sadly. So Mark raising this awareness is fabulous. And I recently did a podcasty, webinary thing for DLG talking about this very subject, Direct Line Group. And Stephen Williams, another great proponent of the Movember moustache. But Mark is wanting to raise some money, so we at the EV Cafe have decided to match fund. In other words, for every £1 that you out there give, we as a team will give also to match every pound. So what I need you to do is click on the QR code, which is about to be displayed. Thank you, Joe. So
He's good,
you
isn't
can
he?
get your mobile phone. There it is. Get your mobile phone and scan that QR code. Tap on the thing, and it will take you to Mark's Movember page. For every pound given, and tell us in the chat. I know giving is a very secretive thing, but do tell us in the chat if you've given £20 or so, or £50 or £100. We at the EV Cafe are going to match that up to a maximum of £250, so that we can get Mark to his target. He's got a little goal that he's aimed. He's a little bit short of it, and we're going to help get him over that line. So that QR code, top right hand corner, still being displayed. Well done, Joe. He's worked out how to put it in a nice small way up the top right hand corner there. Very clever. Get that phone out, QR code that, and and support Mark and support us. So pop it in the chat. Movember, I'm sponsoring £25, £10, £50, whatever it is. And we at the EV Café, you'll be getting us to put our hand in our pocket and giving as well. So that'll be great.
Well done, Paul. Thank you for that. And well done, Mark Newbury from Europe Car. Okay, let's get into it. The government will launch a fast-track consultation on electric vehicle sales in the new zero-emission vehicle mandate after mounting pressure from the auto industry. Business Secretary Jonathan Reynolds confirmed that a consultation will be launched in the coming weeks at the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders annual dinner on Wednesday. However, he stressed that the government is still committed to the 2030 phase-out date for the sale of new petrol and diesel vehicles, but said it's clear there is a need for more support to make the transition to electric success. The consultation is not expected to mean changes in the ZEV mandate percentages, but it is likely to mean changes on the options for car manufacturers in terms of how they can avoid being fined for missing targets. Having had a day or two to consider the ramifications of this, what do you think at home? Is this just a distraction? Is this a frustrating delay? What message does this send? Paul, we chatted about this over the last couple of days, and I moved from being massively frustrated to, oh, does it really matter? What do you think?
Do you know what? I'm trying to kind of process this because I know the instant reaction is, oh my gosh, you fill in the blank, for doing this kind of thing. It feels very frustrating for us that are, really passionate about pushing this thing forward. There's been a clear boundary set. We were very happy with the 2030 clear boundary. That got moved. Now it might move back, and it might include vans, it might not include vans. We've not got the clarity and confidence and certainty that we need to be able to make good decisions. And I think when the government make these changes, it just creates this air of uncertainty. The bit that I'm encouraged to hear is the words fast track. So if they'd have, because what bothers me is the 4.25 ton legislation consultation that's been going on in the van world has taken over a year. We cannot afford a year of flip-flapping around on all these kinds of things. So if we're sort of talking 6 to 8 weeks, and if by the end of January we've got a clear picture of what we're doing, then I'm okay with that. And I think the other bit that sort of has caused me to reflect is the demand side incentives. So we've got challenges and stick for the manufacturers, clear guidelines, no demand side incentives. So they are under pressure to, there's an unbalance. They're under pressure to do all of the sort of, cajoling into buying electric vehicles when we should be talking about benefits and bums on seats and the total cost of ownership, educating, helping people understand the real value of an electric vehicle, van, commercial vehicle, and truck. And cars, yes, those things. So it's really important. So yeah, I think that I can accept that this thing is going on. Make it quick, and look at the demand side element as well to support manufacturers in making these good decisions.
Absolutely. Sell more and avoid paying the fines. And let's be honest, first year for cars, 22% needs to be electric, and we're at around 20% anyway. Yeah. So for cars, this isn't such a major issue. But yesterday, you and I were on a panel. I was chairing the panel. You were a guest member, and we talked about vans, and we talked specifically about it's hard to justify sometimes moving to electric vans, and with £18,000 of fines for every internal combustion engine vehicle that's sold where you're not hitting your electric target, that could push small manufacturers under, couldn't it?
Well, here's the thing. The small manufacturers are probably focused on electric. They are probably either solely electric or are sort of smashing that target out of the park. It is the big ones that are challenged with this money. And it's the big ones that are I'll use a word, whinging on about the ZEV mandate, instead of perhaps investing the same amount of effort into educating and informing both their dealers and their customers on the benefits of electric. So more effort perhaps diverted there. But yeah, no, I agree with you, John. And the £18,000 and £15,000 for cars, 18 in vans and 15 in cars, is challenging, and it does cause those people to think. But there is also considerable margin, and we know that there's been big discounts done for deals that have hit the market, and when we really need to, then money can be found to get these vehicles moving. So it's a tough balance. It really is.
Especially in the context of the 1,900 losses that have been announced this week, with Ford at 800 jobs lost and Stellantis closing Luton and moving production to Ellesmere Port. And it's easy to see that, the world it's almost like the henny penny thing where, the acorn lands on your head and you think the world's falling in. It's not the end of the world. This is a bump in the road. Luton has always been problematic. Ford is a business that goes through cyclical change.
Yeah,
we should get a sense of proportion over this, shouldn't we?
Oh, totally. And for I think it's incredibly disingenuous to link the shutting of Luton and also the job losses in Hale Wood to Labour's electric vehicle chaos, according to the Daily Mail. I mean, come on, this is sensationalism gone mad. And the Luton plant has been struggling for a number of years and has been highlighted as something that would likely shut for at least 20 years. It's an old plant. It's a great plant. It was doing a great job. There's a lot of great people there, and it's really sad that they're going to lose their jobs or have to move to Ellesmere Port. But the reality was it's been on the cards for a long time, and it's that way that the manufacturers are using these tools to lever political intervention and stuff like that. I think it's a bit naughty, if I'm honest.
It's a little bit naughty. Speaking of a little bit naughty, should we do the shout outs of all those little naughties?
Shout outs. Yes.
Come on, let's have it. Right, so first, who smashed the doors in this morning at 8:37? It was Daryl Sharp, and I will quote him verbatim. Morning all, as November comes to an end, what better way to end the week? 30 minutes of funner! A funner at the top of the show as well as at the end. Economy Trucks, do tell us your name, because every week you pitch up and it's lovely to see you here. Would like to give you a personal shout out, so tell us who you are. Scott Eady has been grinding his beans. Oh, nasty. Gary Comerford, lovely to see you this week, as it was with Scott. He's here. It's Peter Heath. He's got nice
teeth.
And we had a lovely hug, Peter.
We
Great
did.
To see you this week, and success for you as a sponsor at the London EV show. And you did an amazing job. Well done, mate. EV Beano Rod Godfrey, we saw you yesterday. Had a great stroke of your coat. It was magnificent. Ash Bannister, two mugs. He's in the house. Rachel Lewis, good morning. Matt Ford, we were just talking about Ford. Blender Guy, always good to see you here. Matthew Ling, he does his thing. And he came in from Suffolk to the London EV show. This has got to stop.
Absolutely.
And he was brilliant, so positive, so energetic. Great to see you here at the London EV show. Sarah Sloman, she's in your chat box, dirty girl. Ian Mayhew, good morning, sir. Jamie Fretwell, great to see you and your job at
VWCV.
My friend, good
lad.
Man. Helen Drake, frozen EVers. Now it's currently 7 degrees in London, so I don't know where you are. Who else we got? Mark, the legend that is Mark Newbury, old Tashy boy. He's in the house. Good to see you, mate. Tom Middleditch, great hug from you yesterday. Lovely to see you. Rob Dustin, hello. And he's here. He was here on day one. DEV. Chakravarti. He's in the house. Mark Main, great to see you, my friend. LinkedIn user. I still think that's Peter Heath, but anyway, we'll give him a shout out. Andrew Clark. Hello. Esther Jones. Oh, Esther Jones from the AA. Smashed it this week. Zach Emerson. You should be a pop star, my friend. That's a great name.
I know, it's a cool name, isn't it? Yeah.
Gemma Robinson, great to see you all 3 days.
Wasn't it lovely? Yeah.
Oh, she was a little ray of sunshine. Manny Rosores. Buenos dias from Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Buenos dias, my friend. ¿Qué tal? Who else we got in here? The EV Cafe's in here, strangely. Don't know quite how that works. Laura Hustwick Wilkes. The power people are in the house. I think we are going. Stuart Humphrey. Stuart, it was lovely to see you as well, mate. Mark Sherry Brennan. Ooh, 3 names to the price of 2. Good to see you, mate. Now then, who else we got? Oh, there's so many. Danita Brewer. She was late, but will still love you. Teresa Swift, she's donated to Mark's campaign. Bless you for that.
As has Belinda Guy and somebody else. I did see somebody else, somebody's popped a donation in but not said. But anyway, we've got to do all the maths when we see all of these people that have given. Yes.
Now then, Colin Boyton is in the house, the man from Greenfleet, and we're doing the wonderful Greenfleet Awards next Thursday night in Coventry. I'll be hosting. Will they never learn? It's gonna be awesome. Really looking forward to just heralding the magnificence that is in that room. 350-ish people all having a right good nosh up, bit of an awards ceremony, bit of chat from me, might even be a comedian. Can't say, but he's darn good. And yeah, it's going to be the bomb. And then Dean Hedger is doing a disco. It's going to be good. Rick Bulimia. Hello, mate. Nice to see you this week. Golly jeepers, there are so many people here.
So you need to pronounce that name.
Yeah. Sabavinci. Let's go with Sabavinci.
Will do.
And finally, 1021, David Pickles.
David Pickles.
Jennifer Smith.
Oh, she just popped in.
Right, okay, that's the shout outs done. Listen, you lot, you are utterly fantastic. We would be nothing without you people, the community of electric vehicle enthusiasts, the people who are in this industry who make stuff better. Paul even learned some stuff this week from new people that we met. It was,
did I?
Well, yeah, you would never admit it, but yes, you did.
I learn every day is a school day. I know that much. Yes. I just thought there was something specific because it was bound to be rude in the end.
Anyway, let's move on. And Jennifer Smith from Schneider Electric joins us just at an opportune moment. As we talk about digital transformation leaders, Schneider Electric is working with transport operators Stagecoach on its journey towards zero-emission travel. We've long championed the need for public transport to be electric in order that everyone benefits from cleaner transport. And Stagecoach's nationwide program to electrify the bus fleet will now partner with Schneider Electric to provide the critical electrical infrastructure, software, and services to support the move. Schneider Electric is delivering its EcoStructure for e-mobility solution to multiple Stagecoach sites across the UK. This includes ultra-rapid EV charging points, electrical distribution infrastructure, and EcoCare membership. This will ensure the smart, reliable charging of Stagecoach's electric bus fleet with a modular approach to meet future needs as Stagecoach's electric fleet grows. Now, this EcoStructure system basically is a shed load of monitors which provide data. I hope Paul isn't being sick or laughing at me. What's being said? I have to rename JC Ricky Gervais. Oh no, what have I done? Anyway, Schneider Electric are providing a monitoring system and a software platform that gives absolutely down to the second information about just how the charging experience is, and this will end up with a better customer experience. And it's utterly brilliant, Paul, isn't it? What were you laughing at? He's gone on mute. He's on mute.
I put myself on mute because Caroline wanted to get something, so I was just hide me. So I was hiding her. So that's what it was, everybody. I'm very sorry. So yes, it is utterly brilliant, and I think customer experience at the point of charging is critically important. Sarah talks about this a lot because the payment experience is wrapped up in all of that that purpose, and of course Sarah in her day job really working and striving towards developing that that whole experience through her work in pay-through, and of course, you know, Sam with his work in GridServe. It's important that customers get a really good experience when they turn up to charge, and if what Schneider does is improve and enhance the user experience, or give us the data with which we need to get the insight in how to help our customers, that is very good news. And expect nothing less from Schneider because of what they're doing within their world. Because life is on.
Certainly is. Gemma Robinson donated in memory of Max to the Movember campaign. Bless you. Thank you for that. And Colin, see you boys at the 20th anniversary Green Fleet Awards next week. You certainly will, my friend. Looking forward to it. Final story today. He's a geezer, isn't he? He is a proper geezer. The proportion of electric vehicles running out of charge this year in the UK has dropped to the lowest ever, according to new AA statistical analysis revealed by the AA at the recent Transport and Energy Forum. Spent a train journey with Alec Peachy from Transport and Energy last night, which was absolutely fantastic. He's another geezer. And we had selfies with Edmund King and the AA team, Kirsty in her yellow trousers. I'll tell you, can you tell we're buzzing? It's been brilliant this week. Anyway, the latest figures show shown by the AA president Edmund King at the forum, calculated as a percentage of all EV breakdowns, a record low number of EVs running out of charge, which was 1.85% of all the calls they get about electric vehicles were because they'd run out of charge. The rolling 12-month figure for 2023 was 2.26, and in 2015, just to give some sense of context, the out of charge callouts were 8.26%. That just goes to show that new battery technology, better range, improved charging performance and reliability, charger support provided by the AA, and better driver and dealer knowledge have all helped. Ultimately, the AA expects the figures to drop to 1%, which is roughly the proportion of internal combustion engine cars running out of petrol and diesel. Now, Paul, be honest with me. Have you ever run out of charge?
Do you know what? This is very topical. So yesterday, as you know, I came back from London. On the way home, I made a deviation. The deviation was to pick up my daughter from work because her car is broken. Hers is nice, mine's an electric. Hers is broken down, mine isn't. So just making that point. Anyway, so I picked her up and brought her home, and we had to go via the horses, and literally we had 4% as we left horses, and we had 0% as we arrived here. Literally. So we did the last mile with 0 miles and 0%. So it was almost, we were beginning just a little bit to sweat, because obviously I've not run the smart car quite so low before. But the reality is, I think 98.15% of the time, everybody's fine, right? Because we have the ability to charge out in public. I drove past some chargers on my way home. I could have popped into the local Instavolt and got a quick boost to give me that little bit extra to get home, but we decided not to. But I think, it's about decision making, isn't it? At the end of the day, we can all make a bad decision when we need energy because we want to get home, or we do this or that. And I'd be really interested to see how many of those events have happened very close to home, because you've been just trying to eke it out and you haven't quite made it. Because I think, John, if I ask you the same question, you may have experienced yes.
I ran out of charge with half a mile to go, and had the torment of phoning home and saying, "Can you come and get me?" in a petrol car, because I was able to be towed home. It was a disgrace. Anyway, it seems in the comments that there are others who have had similar instances. I note particularly Hugh Maguire, whose 12-volt battery goes out. And let's be honest, if that doesn't happen to you once when you're an EV driver, then you're not really an EV driver. 12-volt battery is the bane of everybody's life. I think all that charge in all those cells, and that stupid 12-volt lets you down. Anyway, Paul, you've been an outstanding compatriot this week. Thank you so much for all you've done and for being here on the news. It was great to see the rest of the guys this week, and all of you lot. Until next Friday, it's goodbye from me, it's goodbye from him. If you've got any clean transport PR or news stories you'd like us to cover, send them to us at hello@evcafe.org. This has been an EV Cafe production. Other sustainability news services are available, but this is just funner! The EV Cafe is truly blessed, and we mean this sincerely, to be partnered with the AA, Webfleet, Europcar, Iveco, Drax Electric Vehicles, Spiri, Stuart Signs, All-Star, Schneider Electric, and Dynamon with EV Café, supporting the transition to clean transport. Stay safe, stay well, and be happy if you can. Until next Friday. Bye-bye.
Can I just tell Lee Sibley to get back to work? Bye-bye.
Yes. He never works.